Greetings to you. Greetings and welcome to Uncensored Guyana. Uncensored. This program is not suitable for persons who are overly sensitive, persons who have issues with their hearing, especially persons from the soon to be dead wind camp and the soon to be extinct PNC slash APNU slash Disciples of Bornham. This program is not suitable for any of you. But for the rest of you, I have two sets of news today. I have the good news. And then I have bad news. Which one would you like to receive first? There are some people who would like to have the bad news first. And those people I understand. All their lives, that's what they expect. Bad news. Then there are those who would like to receive the good news first. Because those people who would like to receive the good news first, all their lives, they have been supporters of the People's Progressive Party Civic. And they are not accustomed to bad news. As a matter of fact, they have never heard the term bad news before. This is the first time they are going to hear bad news from me. So I have to explain to the people of the People's Progressive Party who've never heard anything bad in their life what bad news is. So I explain to that audience. Bad news is when things are not going in favor of the haters of the People's Progressive Party Civic. Bad news is when you are explaining, reporting, discussing, elaborating on events and situations that has favored negatively the people who hates President Ali and the People's Progressive Party, like me. I mean, like me and you, the supporters of the PPP. The people who are against us, they're the ones who understand what bad news is. And what I'm about to say is bad news for them. Did my brain just create something that you have to have a genius mind to do that? Did it just happen? I mean, while I'm talking to you, the good people, the great people of the People's Progressive Party, the Guyanese, and all the rest of the world who wants to hear good things about Guyana, I had a thought really, and the thought I had was, there is never anything bad when it comes to delivering news to the people that supports the People's Progressive Party, because the bad news that I have to talk about, it is good for the PPP, but bad for the others. Either way, it's good news. The good news I have to talk about, it's bad for the haters of the PPP. Either way, they're screwed. I mean, screwed, really. This is Dr. Prasad, Kenny Shorin Warner Prasad. And without further ado, let me extend, before I forget, a 70th birth anniversary to the goddess mother who created me. You know, she actually embryoed me bring me forth to this world. And she did a good job. Because once I can remember, one time, when we would have relocated due to transfer of my father, who was in the joint services, keeping law and order in place, we moved from one location to the next. And for the first time in my life, I was exposed in a social way to the extended family of my mother. You know, they call it cousins and stuff. Myself and my brother, we were never aware of certain practices, never. And looking at them, we saw our cousins rolling papers, you know, they tear papers from books. We never did that. We didn't understand that you could have done that, because my parents were very strict when it comes to books. My father would say, you never destroy books. No matter what it looks like, there's always something to learn from it. Read everything, don't destroy it. So we never destroy burn pages, or no, never, never, never. So we saw our cousin, my mother's side, rolling stuff up in there, lighting and smoking paper. And then me and my brother, we wanted to see what this thing is all about. So my brother took the rolled paper and he was going to like puff, because the others are doing it. So he's like, because he was maybe 7 years old, I think. I was at the time about 11, 12, and he wanted to roll it. So when he did that, he started coughing. And it was brought to my mother's attention that that's what he did that resulted in his coughing. You know what happened? I'll tell you what happened. I would have always preferred my father discipline us than my mother. Because my father would whip you and he would feel the whip himself. So if he's going to whip you and he thinks it's like a little too hard, he's going to comfort you. My mother, oh no. So that day, she got a whip, a sprang whip. And she put a beating, not just on my brother, I got a whooping too. Because I should have been smart enough at 11 to say, hey, don't do that. We both got a whipping for my mother. And trust me, at 11 years old, I start to think, my brain went into this genius stage, and it thinks, this is why they freed the slaves, because this kind of whipping, the slaves couldn't handle it. If this is what they went through for fucking up, they had to abolish slavery. In no way I wanted a repeat of that. That was the first time and the last time. And I want to thank my mother for trashing me and my brother. Because of that, I never touched a cigarette or anything that you used to smoke with. Never in my life. I always remembered that trashing, and it's still stuck in my brain. Anytime I go anywhere close to cigarette, I get nervous. I look around to see, hey, is mommy there? Yeah, it ignites something of fear inside of me to this day. Thank you, mother. Yeah. Today is her 70th birthday. And she says she wants me to know that she still looks good. She also told me, she says, I want you to understand that I eat healthy. As much as I can, I walk. She says, I drink a lot of water. I use a lot of fruits. She said, I don't stress over nothing, not even over you. Because a lot of people are calling me all over the place, all over the world, and complaining. Say, why is your son not supporting the PNC? Why is he against it? Why is he this? And she said to me, I don't stress. because I enjoy 70. I thought my mother was 60. No, she told me today, she said, no, I'm 70 years old today. She's on vacation, enjoying her life. Yes. When she goes to America for vacation, I said, hey, go shake Trump's hand and let him know that his embassy in Suriname denied me visa 3 times. Let him know that. That was a joke. Congratulations to my mother on her birth anniversary. That's good news for me. I just want to share it with you. The next good news is President Irfaan Ali, the Lord of Guyana. Oh, yes, he is. Ali is the Lord of Guyana. How do you think lords are made? How do you think demigods are made? You think God himself comes down and makes a man God? No. Character, legacy is what makes turned men into gods. As a matter of fact, in the eyes of the scripture, we are all gods. But some of us don't live up to that expectation. President Ali is living up to that. So he's supposed to be identified as Lord President Irfaan Ali. Yes, an Afro-Guyanese who identify as an Indo-Guyanese is saying to an Indo-Guyanese president, he should be acknowledged and identified as Lord. The others who don't like it, F you. Now, he has the last laugh. And he's still laughing. Or you wanted him to lose that little fat around his belly? He's going to lose it now. Because when you're laughing, you have to contract your abs. That's free exercise. Laughter is good for the face, facial muscles. It's good for your abdomens, your six-pack. It burns, and it also keeps you young. Like, like my mother, she laughs all the time. I don't laugh. I drink water, substitute for laughing. But President Irfaan Ali, he is laughing. I mean, he's like rolling over. Exactly. That's why the man is so light, at ease, that he can fly all over the country, building airstrips, building roads, opening up housing schemes that looks like Europe. Yes, some of you haters, you're jealous haters of the Mohammeds camp. Those houses that the president has unveiled to the world, not just Guyana, they do look like houses in Europe, where they place, you know, the nice Santa Claus, Christmassy, end of the year environment. Yes. That's what the fuck it looks like. And that's what our Lord and President Irfaan Ali is doing, because he's having the last laugh. He don't have any time to stress. Who are the people stressing now? Who? Forward Guyana suddenly realized that shit, we are still here. They were asleep for months. Well, they didn't get a cash grant they were hoping for. So I guess they were bitter during the Christmas holiday because Amanza Walton Nazir didn't want to go into her savings to buy black cake and what else they think Christmas? Pepper pot and turkey and ham and cook up rice and some fish stew, saltfish and bread. Yeah, she didn't want to go into her savings to get that. She was hoping. She and the people from the VLAC, the haters of the Jagdeo Bridge. You know, VPAC people. VPAC. VPAC. I'm calling your name now. VPAC. VPAC people. Listen to me. If you're so attracted to Bara Jagdeo, and Bara Jagdeo is not giving you the time of the day, because Bara Jagdeo likes women. He has an attractive wife, and she's black. You see, you're cussing the man calling him a racist, but his wife is black. He has lovely daughters. The man likes women. So the VPAC people, you spend all this time on Barra Jagdeo Bridge. If you love Barra Jagdeo so much and you can't get close to him enough, why don't you go on the bridge at night and masturbate? It's free. Don't worry. You don't have to pay me for that suggestion. I'm giving it to you for free. VPAC, you love Jagdeo so much, take out your phone, go on the Barra Jagdeo Bridge, and while you are walking up to the peak, you start jerking off from the bottom. And as you go up to the peak, you increase your motion of your hand. Climax at the peak of the bridge. Yes. And you will see all this hatred, all this nagging, it will disappear. Because Jagdeo don't want you. You're a man. The PPP, the men of the PPP, they like women. We like women. Attractive women. Amanza Desir, she could have a chance. She's kind of a looker. But she don't like PPP men. She's racist. And I don't have a chance because I'm Indian and she don't like Indian men. So I'm fucked. Now she resurrected because they waited too long. They realize it's January and they have to wait until the budget is passed for the cash grants to be announced. And then they will hear how much they'll get. They can't afford to starve till then. So she had to go into her savings, take the money out, and buy some bread and some pepper pot in January after the holiday. So all that bitterness, now she's bringing it out. Oh, we have to have a press conference. Why can the government bring all of these deportees to Guyana? We would like to know who's going to finance them, where they're going to stay, what kind of vetting was done. Oh, we want to know this, we want to know that. Amanza Walter Desir, I bring the discussion in a different way. I think you know that by now. Everybody knows that. I am not mainstream. I'm not. I'm a combination of fuck-ups and intelligence. So I bring it to you in a different way. And my way is, Amanza Walter Desir, you can do the same thing I suggested for the VPAC person. But I hear you have a husband. What I tell some women, if they hate some men so much, to the point where that hatred turned to love, but they can't get those men, when they're busy with their husbands, think about those men, and they'll enjoy the orgasm. You should do the same, Amanza. You hate Jagdeo, right? And Ali, you have a crush on Ali because he called you a girl. Oh my gosh. You're older than him, you know that. But you look good for your age. I mean, I don't think Ali would turn you down, but he has a wife. Now, you're too late. You should have hit on him when he was minister, the big guy, and put all that weight on you. Some women like that, you know. They want you to hold them tight. Suck all the air out of them so they can scream the orgasm as if they're suffocating. Yeah. Once you have the weight that Ali had before and resting on that body of yours, Amanza, and Ali is like, you know, sumo wrestling, yeah, you would come through your mouth. Your orgasm would through your mouth. But it's too late. He has a wife, and she is skinny and short. Better to handle. He could lift her up and do his thing. And now he's exercising, so he's more flexible. He wants a toy he can play with. And he has a beautiful wife. And she's the first lady, not his side chick. And because he knows all these haters are waiting with their phones to see which whorehouse he might go in, which prostitute he might know, Ali has decided, okay, I have made an oath to myself not to give these people content. So even though it might be hard and difficult, I'm going to masturbate in my toilet. And there I know I'm safe. Nobody has a camera. And And my wife thinks I'm constipated if I take too long. She won't come knocking on the door. She knows she can go to the other washroom because in my house I have five. Oops. PNC folks and Win folks, that slipped out. The president don't have five bath and toilet in his house. He's not living in a bungalow or a mansion like Trump. That slipped out of my mouth. I talk too much sometimes. He just has two. Yeah, just two. My former home, I had two as well. I had a master, then I had one for the rest of the, yeah. So Amanza Walter Desir, I'm going to jump right to it. Oh, I should have captioned that. Oh, that was the bad news. Oh, no, 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 no. My brain just slows down when I'm talking about the PNC and the fucking Win people. It slows down. It's like something is wrong. I'll jump into it. The bad news, I've been saying it already, is that Amanza Walter Desir from the backward Guyana or stupid Guyana movement and her boy toys, you are irrelevant. You got one seat. Shut the fuck up. Nobody wants to hear from you. As in literally nobody wants to hear shit from you. Back off. All right? Back off. Just shut up. Seriously, man. You just become an Instagram model. If you miss the camera, you miss the like, you miss all of that energy, that kind of chemical rush to have all these guys commenting and liking. Oh, she's the cutest in the parliament. Oh my gosh, look at this nice lady. Yeah, you missed that. You should not have been bitter about the cash grant. Fuck Azruddin. I'm getting to him just now. Take your rest, Amanza, because the parliament will be convened very soon. And you will have enough time to model in the National Assembly and have all those niggas there admire you. You'll get that. That's better than Instagram. That's in-person congratulations. Compliment. Oh my gosh, I like your skirt. You look good today. You must tell them, yeah, my husband told me that. Because if he didn't, he knows I like to beat men. So he told me that. So Amanza, listen, nobody gives a fuck what you think. No, really, nobody. I'm speaking for everybody. I know that you have lost, but you never had them. But the illusion that you had black people, it's gone, disappeared. So back off. Enjoy your one seat in the parliament until your time is up so you can switch back to the VPAC people. Because you made a deal. You're the reason why he's cussing Jagdeo, because Jagdeo didn't step in and help him out in you giving him a share. You should have been like the European politicians. I mean, them African ladies. You want to shut the man up? Ask him to drop you home. You're so quick he would stop complaining about one seat. He got his reward. The initiative of the government of Guyana in attracting and agreeing to work together with the United States regarding the acceptance of certain individuals who may not want to return to their home country is a good one. Is a good one. Guyana is now the hub. Guyana is the Big Apple. Yes, the Big Apple. And Guyana has room, the 83,000 square miles of Guyana has room for how much people? 20 million? Guyana is not a populous country. Guyana's population in terms of numbers is very, very poor in terms of numbers. There is too much resources there for such a small population. The population of Guyana is too small. I've been saying that for a long time. Bring more people in the country. Guyana needs at least 5 million people. The least 5 million. Guyana needs. Look how many empty spaces around that country. That's why these niggas are running around doing shit, because there's too much room for them to play. And their playing is not pleasant playing. Their playing is crime. Guyana needs people. So if the people are not seeing Guyana as an alternative destination, make them see Guyana as that. And we have to thank the Americans for doing their marketing for us, telling these refugees and these persons who are in the US that, hey, one of the best places you can go, English speaking country you can go to and have opportunities, better opportunities than you have in America, and the police won't be hunting you down. There is no ICE in Guyana. You can go there. Send them to Guyana. Now, the government that we have is a government of law and order. What makes you think, Amanza and fucking Norton, what makes you think that President Ali has the brain of a black man? What makes you think so? The man loves black people, but he doesn't think like one. Because a lot of you people, when you were in government, how did you deal with crime? How much deportees came back from the US? One Granger was president. And all those deportees who came back from the US under Granger were criminals who committed crime in America, and they had to come back to Guyana. Fucking criminals. None were educated or skilled. And what they have done since, they go into the ghettos, recruit them dumb Negroes, and taught them how to commit crime, so the society perpetuates crime. Why didn't you do something about it then? Why didn't you refuse to accept them criminals that were deported during 2016, 2020, 2015, 2020? You did nothing about it. So now, people from different countries who have contributed to the US, but they have broken the laws in America, and the only laws they have broken is the law about immigration. They overstayed. They overstayed, that's it. But most of them have not committed crimes. They're skilled people. They're trained people. They use the opportunity while they're there to educate and upgrade themselves. You think Ali is that dumb to take anything? No, President Ali is an opportunist. And he saw an opportunity to get a lot of skilled, first-class humans. Being illegal in America don't make them lower class. A lot of those people are doctors, lawyers, teachers, engineers, a lot of them. So if our government puts conditions, which the government has said repeatedly, put conditions that only skilled persons would be accepted in the arrangement. Only skilled persons with no criminal background, none whatsoever. You think the Americans are going to deceive Guyana and push a bunch of Trinidad people, Maduro's skunks? They won't do that. The ones who are criminals go back to their country. They don't have a choice. The people who have a choice as to country of destination are the people who don't have criminal records. They have done nothing wrong besides overstay. Those are the ones who got the option to go to another country besides their home country, maybe because of the retribution. But the criminals from Venezuela and Colombia and Africa are going back to Africa, Venezuela, and Colombia. They don't have the choice to go to any other country. They're going back to the place of their birth. But because of your irrelevance, Amanza and the PNC, you want to have something to talk about. So you talk about this deportee situation to drive fear in Guyanese. Now, What kind of fear can you drive in niggas? No, seriously. What kind of fear can you drive in them fucking niggas that are terrorizing Guyana? You tell me how afraid they would be for some foreigners coming in the country seeking residence. How afraid? They literally beat up a few days ago, beat up a black man from France, a nigga just like themselves, who look like them, beat his ass, denied him access in Sofia. And you think they're going to be afraid of some light-skinned Arabs or Pakistani or Indians or wherever, and their own dark-skinned niggas they're not afraid of? They want to beat them out of the country? What are you, stupid? Black people are not afraid of anything, not even the police. And most ultimately, they're not afraid of death. So you are speaking to the wrong audience about fear. They're the ones who push fear. They're the fearmongers. And typically that's what you're doing, Amanza. Pushing fear. You and the PNC. Oh, we want consultation. You're begging for consultation. You are irrelevant. You are incapable of having consultation, because your consultation is a fat check. Ali has to take money from the cash grant to pay you, Amanza, and the so-called non-existent opposition party to consult on what? Pay you for what? You're going to do it for free. You people are only looking for opportunities to embezzle money. Shell was right. He's an asshole. He's a jeet, but he was right. The only thing niggas want is money. No, don't put me in that. I am giving people an option to make donations. Yes. So don't say, well, what about you? You're a nigger. I'm not a nigger. I'm an Indian. So I'm giving people option to make donation. They want to do it or not, that's up to them. All your pastors are doing it. Creflo Dollar, Benny Hinn, and all these crooked, scamish pastors, especially them idiots from Nigeria, they're begging for it and they're demanding that you do it. They're telling you how much to put. And they're telling you if you don't put, you'll be cursed. You're going to hell. I don't do that. I don't do that. So don't put me in that. Now, Shell is correct. All black people want is money. They don't work. They show up on the job the first day of the month, and the second day, they want the boss to give them a first cut. They want a loan on their salary, and it's only the second day, and they got paid 3 days before. That's typical nigger, not just Guyana, all over. For that, I can give him credit. Everywhere, black people want to be paid before they work. And when you pay them, you don't see them after. I don't think you can bully them. They beat your ass. And I called the police and reported you assaulted them. So Shell was right. What Shell was also right with, he was correct to say the things he said about black people. They look for that. No matter how you cuss them fuckers, no matter how you spit on them, they don't get it. They don't get it because they lack souls. They lack soul. You can tell them whatever the fuck you want, and then you put some music together, get a band, get some loser from Jamaica, some criminal also from Jamaica, you bring him, you hold a show, and the same people you just cuss are gonna borrow, steal, or beg for clothing and shoe and show up at that show, forgetting that they were just shamed. No other race you can do that to. You can never embarrass an Indo-Guyanese. Never embarrass an Indo-Guyanese, and then 5 minutes after that, call him. He would hate you for the rest of his life. You can never embarrass a white man, and afterwards call him. He would plan your death. A Chinese, worst. But a black man, you can cuss him, spit on him, and then you call him afterwards with a box of KFC or $1,000. He forget the cuss he just had. because they have no sense of morals or standards. That's a fact. So Shell was correct, because despite the things that Shell Mohammed said, despite the fact that he insulted them to the extent to say that blacks have nothing. Now, he's a very big businessman in Guyana, large businessman in Guyana. So he knows all the businessmen who have businesses. And he could only literally think of 3 black people with business. 3 out of 10,000 businesses in Guyana, only 3 Shell could think of that might belong to black people. Because when you talk about a few, you're talking about 3. A couple is 2. Anything over a couple is a few. And in the context that Shell was talking, 3. So he sent the black man to go and look amongst the 3 black people that has business to hire him. Yes. And still, all of these blacks that are still under the curse of the ritual money are using their social media platform to perpetuate that that was not Shell's voice, that Shell didn't say that. The man himself at the court yesterday acknowledged it was his voice, and he says, go fuck yourself. What can you do about it? It's my voice. So what? That was his body language. Dismissing it. Yeah, it's the PPP, because ask them at the market, ask them black people at the market. That's imagine. The only place he knows that black people exist is at the border market, the area where they sell herbs. You know, the bush, the herbs, the medicine, you know, the black culture stuff. That's where he knows black people exist. That's the only place he could reference. Ask them at the market. For half my life, I keep going there. Yes, you go there, Shell, to get some cheap greens and look for some free or cheap labor from them Negroes who skipped school. And them women who slept with 100 men and made 200 kids and don't know exactly where their baby daddy is. Those are the ones you're referring to. And they're like 10. The majority of the Afro-Guyanese that you cuss, it's still relevant to them, what you said. But he didn't give a shit. Because he understands his money is his protection. The only way he is null and void is on the February 5th. And I really thought it would have been January 6th. Or yesterday. February 5th. So why our president, the good news, is laughing and losing weight? It is because he told us. He warned us. They had a taste as a political party. President Irfaan Ali and his colleagues in the party had a taste of what the Mohammeds are capable of. They are like the Epstein. Set you up and try to blackmail you after that. Yeah, so the president, they had a taste of him, of them, and they warned Guyanese, don't listen to these people. Don't listen to these people. If you don't want to vote for President Ali, vote for the PNC. The president went so far to tell them, vote for the PNC. I can tolerate the PNC because, you know, in the PNC, we don't have any sanctioned individual. And besides, you know, black people, they're predictable. But you didn't listen. You accepted the cheap digital phone. You know, the phones that, the refurbished phones that the Mohammed bought online, the used phones that they put some new casing on. You fell for it. You fell for the $5,000 bill. You fell for it. And you thought that suddenly this billionaire who built a few houses on loans to the people that he built the houses for and keep pushing it in your face leading up to the elections, who donated some refurbished scooters and refurbished engines to a few people, you fell for that. You really think they're good people? No, the president warned you. He even cried. The man talked so loud on the campaign trail before the campaign. He screamed that his voice refused to come out to say, hey, Ali, calm down. They heard you. But the result of the elections, we see that a few of them didn't take the message right. Now they did. After the damage is done. Now they did. The condition of the Mohammeds, like I said before, it's acquired intelligence deficiency skunks. That doesn't have a cure. And that's what you voted for. And you find yourself contracting the same acquired intelligence deficiency skunt holes. That's what you are now. So yesterday, when they expected people to show up, after all, you start giving them 5,000, Mohammed, and you're going to drop that to 2,000. Who the fuck is going to come out and take a bullet for you for 2,000? The black people realize, oh, really? You cuss us out. You put all of us in the same basket. Some of us who are lawyers and doctors and teachers okay. My neighbor is playing his music a bit loud. Anyway, let's hope it's not feeding back through the mic right now. Let me see if I can get him. Yeah. So the thing about it is that they realize that the blacks were freed from the spell. Yesterday was a big blow, a huge blow to the Mohammeds, a huge, tremendous blow. That's worse than what happened to Maduro. What happened to Maduro is nothing compared to what the Mohammeds experienced yesterday from the blacks. Yeah, that was like 3 a.m. when everybody's asleep, when the cops close the party down and say, hey, go home, quiet. You hear the crickets in the background. You hear the frogs. You can hear a pin drop yesterday at the High Court. All of that because the black people woke up. Their eyes were opened and they realized that they made a huge mistake. Now, President Ali is not laughing because he wants to mock the Afro-Guyanese. He's laughing because that's better than slapping the Mohammeds. The president is not violent as a president. But as a citizen, yes, he could get real tough. So the only alternative he had was to just laugh his ass off because of the shame the great Mohammeds experienced yesterday. Nobody, not even the GRA looters who came and tried to loot the GRA out of the Mohammeds camp in taking their vehicles, not even them showed up. Nobody. They took the money, the 2,000, and say, hey, tell Doggy, hey, you can leave now. Ain't no thugs here today. They're all at school. Oh, and they got jobs. Shame on you. I predicted the end of the Win Party. I predicted the downfall of the Win Party. You think your end is with the extradition? That's the beginning of your troubles. Because you shall be in prison, Azruddin. And if you have access to a phone, you will see how those Negroes in the Win Party are enjoying what they built. You paid them to build their own future. They played you, Azruddin. That's what niggas do. They're very dramatic. They're very pretentious. They put on the best emotions to get what they want. They played you, you dumbass. Now you see what it is to be tricked and played by people who outsmart you. You think they were stupid, didn't you? Oh, you think the ghetto, the Tiger Bay, the All Boys Town, the Sophia, the Buxton, you think they were stupid. No, they taught you a lesson. You should have seen that coming from the past few court dates that you had, where the crowd keeps getting smaller and smaller. Even the Venezuelans didn't want to show up. They want no associations. Their king is gone. So they don't want to get in contact with his operative. So it's bad news for you, Mohammeds. Terrible news. What choice do you have? I think your father might fake a sickness in the coming days. Fake, pretend that he's incapacitated, sick, hospitalized, doctor's appointment. I see that coming. Just to find every means possible to get out of being extradited. He's going to pretend. I don't know what you were thinking, but I don't think it's good. I said before that you are on psychiatric treatment. They have to watch you. They have to put you on suicide watch. Azruddin, I'm saying this now on this public network. Your folks, the Guyanese authorities, need to pay close attention to Azruddin Mohammed. Put him on suicide watch. Because what he experienced yesterday, he wasn't prepared for that. He was not prepared for that. He's devastated. There is no way out. You lived all your life as a prince. And the only thing you see in your future is living as a prisoner in another country under harsh conditions amongst people you hated all your life. Because in the federal prison that you're going to, it's 80% black. 80% black. And they are real criminals. Real as in murderers and thieves and real. They're not tax evaders and no. That's the darkest of the dark. And they're spending the rest of their life in prison. That's where you're bound to. So I can understand if you might be suicidal. Because based on what's happening, none of your strategies worked. None of it. You want to overthrow Ali? You want to put together a coup against Ali? You want to this, you want to, it didn't work. Nothing worked. And you will end up extradited like Maduro and all the others. As it gets closer, you need to start embracing that. This ain't no 5 stages of grief. Ain't no grief here. This is the stages of reality. And reality stage is that right now you're here. Coming close to February 5th, you get into a point where you have to accept your next destination is the American Federal Penitentiary. That is your next destination. The Ethnic Relations Commission, for whatever reason, Parliament constituted that body. For whatever reason, I think they're working against the Indo-Guyanese and in favor of the Afro-Guyanese. This kind of victimhood that Black people continue to play, victimhood. The world is against them. Every part of the world, even though they're the ones terrorizing society, they play the game as if people are against them. You go to the ghettos in Guyana, you find a lot of victims, Black people who are doing nothing, no work, nothing. They stay home, they have a child of 1 year old, and they're pregnant again. But still, they're playing the victim. And the ERC is ignoring the atrocities of the Blacks in Guyana and focusing on stupid things, stupid nonsense on social media, claiming it's cybercrime. And every time it is alleged to have been perpetrated by an Indo-Guyanese or a non-Black person, they're running to get those people. And the real issues they're not focusing on. Because most of the members of the ERC are Blacks and they're fucking PNC. Most of them. Every time you have a situation with ERC, this ERC that, look at the people who are penalized by the ERC. Look at the numbers. You're telling me that only Indo-Guyanese are offenders? You're trying to paint a narrative to the world that the people who are being discriminated against are Black people? And the perpetrators are Indians? These members of the ERC, most are PNC. And most of them come from the Burnham era. They have no authority, no moral authority to talk about but character or moral standing or what's right for the other races. What nonsense is that? Disband the ERC, man. Disband them. You have the police department already. You have the police department. If somebody feels like an act was done against them, go make a report. That should not be up to the ERC. Go make a report to the station. The police will decide if it's a criminal offense. If it's a civil case, sue the person. What do you need the ERC for? For what? Spy on other people who are not PNC, on PPP members, and then sanction them? How is that helping society? How? It's a waste group. A waste of resources. What the fuck you paying them for? It's a waste of resources. This is why I'm going to get into government. Really. These are the things that are propelling me, inspiring me to get into government. We can't just relax and let these things go. All of these organizations are working against the interests of the Guyanese people and in concert with the PNC and this asshole Azriddin Mohammed. If you talk about the PPP, they're looking for some loophole to shut you down. They came after me a few times. If I curse Black people, I have a right. I have a fucking right to do it. Because the actions of the Black man affects me directly. And since the police can't do anything about it, I am using my powers to do something about it. And I'm saying, if Black people don't change their attitude, if they don't change their attitude, they will not just be at the bottom of the ladder, they'll be the shit that people discard off. This is 2026. They have another opportunity to make something of themselves and their lives. Another opportunity. But still, in 2026, look around Guyana. This asshole that is paid, this lunatic Caucasian rat from some shithole ghetto in London, come to Guyana with some cheap YouTube camera and say he's exposing, he's showing the parts of Guyana, oh, a rich oil-rich country, and look at the slum, look at the roads, look at this. Hey, asshole, Caucasian asshole, listen. Now, the People's Progressive Party, as in 2026, now they have control of Georgetown. Now, prior to that, in the history of Guyana, you asshole, it was the PNC who controlled Region 4. So all them garbage you're talking about, it is black people's fucking garbage. All them trenches and gutters that you see a lot of bottles and plastic and stuff, it belongs to the black people. It belongs to the black people. They're the ones dotting up the city. They're the ones. It in the Indo-Guyanese or Ali. Ali lives in Lenora. Ali lives in Lenora. Jagde's from the Berbice region. The people who dominate the city are black people. So as you would know, white man, that the same way the blacks live in London, in the ghettos in London, yeah, it's same black people in Guyana. Do you go and tell the people in the mayor in London and the prime minister, you tell the king, you cuss them out like that? Do you show those slums in London? Because we know they have a lot, much more than Guyana. Do you show those homeless people in London? How many homeless people Guyana has? How many? Maybe zero. Guyana don't have a homeless problem. Guyana don't have a poverty problem. London does. England does. And don't forget, your England used to take out the resources of Guyana, and they still do. They don't pay taxes. So if you want to show negativity, go to London. Go to Canada. Or go to America. They have a lot there. Yeah. Louisiana, Chicago. Oh my gosh. You want to show shit and trash and garbage and human filth? Go to America. All your dreams will come true if that's what you're lusting. Nastiness, it's there. Now, the president, Irfaan Ali, and the government of Guyana, now they have control of Georgetown Region 4. Now. And the mayorship is still under the PNC. It's still under the PNC. So don't blame this nastiness you see in these fucking ghettos on the People's Progressive Party. Blame it on the WIN people who paid you. Blame it on your same nasty self. Blame it on the PNC. And a matter of fact, we don't want to hear from you. We don't care what you think. All right? Show that to the rest of the world. Why people don't want to come to this country? Who the fuck are you? Have you seen the data as to how many people visited Guyana since 2020? For last year, 2025, have you seen how many visitors Guyana has seen from European countries? Have you seen that? You should have checked the fucking data, you idiot, before you spread those lies on that stupid video. Back to my point, Minister of Tourism, Suzanne Rodriguez, Minister of Home Affairs, if you have a system at the immigration, when they ask, because every immigration you have to answer these questions. What is the purpose of your visit? What is the purpose of your visit? They have to fill in, I'm a YouTuber, I'm here to make content. What kind of content? If they say tourism content, you let them sign a memorandum that whatever they're going to promote of Guyana has to be positive. If they don't, you fine them. Fine. Some of them may do it until they leave the country. They would film and then they go out the country, then they post. Still, you can sanction them. Still, you can fine them. They have to secure a permit and agree. Why are we allowing these things to happen? China don't allow it. Russia don't allow it. A lot of European countries don't allow it. Why are we compromising? Why are we the bitch for these losers? We have to stop this. Because they come with jealousy. They come with jealousy and they come with all kinds of malicious intent to Guyana and look for the nastiest ghetto they can find to paint a picture that, oh, look at Guyana. That's not Guyana. Guyana is a proud country. Guyana produces some of the smartest people on the planet. Some of the kindest, purest, holiest people on the planet you can find in Guyana, born and raised. Some of them never left Guyana, but they are the best at what they do. You want to portray Guyana as some negative, nasty fucking Tiger Bay ghetto? No. We have to stand against that. When these people are doing that, we have to shut them down. And the black people who are subscribing to it because they hate Ali, they hate the PPP, so they like when these people are pushing negativity to Guyana, let them cross the border to Venezuela. If there is 10 black people, if there is right now 10 black people in Guyana who want to give up their lives in Guyana to go live in Nigeria or somewhere in Africa, I will buy your ticket for you. But you can never come back. You can never return. I would happily buy your ticket to ship you the fuck to Africa. Leave Guyana for good, but the agreement is you can never return. You're so bitter with your country. You're going to conspire with Venezuelans, with Colombians, with all these assholes who come and paint a bitter picture about your president and your country. Fine. Leave. Repatriate back to Africa. The only man fighting for slavery compensation is Ali, an Indian president fighting for what's the word? For these slaves. I mean the ancestors. The black in doing it, Ali is doing it, trying to get compensation for the children, the grand and great grandchildren of the slaves, and you are conspiring with white people to make Guyana look bad because we have an Indo-Guyanese president under the PPP. Then fine, leave Guyana, leave your house, your job, whatever possessions you have, leave it, sell it. I'll buy your ticket for you. Go to Africa, but you can never return to Guyana. Since you hate it so much, leave and don't come back. That's the deal. Share this live. Subscribe to the channel. As you leave, click subscribe. Share this video. I want to know what you think. And at the end of the day, we are in this together. We support our president. We stand by our president and make sure that Guyana remains immune and protected for what's happening in the rest of the world. Let Russia deal with America the way they choose to. Let America deal with Venezuela the way they choose to. That's their issue. Our issue is shoring up our president so that the entire country can become better than Dubai. Better than Dubai. And that's where it is going right now. Thank you, President Irfan Ali. Lord President Irfan Ali, thank you. We honor you. We are fighting for your third term. We believe you will have a third term. Priya Manik Chan will understand. She has to. She don't have a choice. Until next time, goodbye now.